Hello and welcome to Serious Sediments, episode 46. I am Johnny Kane. Now, in my last episode, I went way crazy on Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger. And I've had some time to read and think about some of the things I've said. Now, I mentioned in my last episode that there's like movements around the South to definitely get rid of anything Confederate. So like I said General Lee, but I was also thinking of many other Confederates, including Nathan Bedford Forrest. Yes, one of the most controversial figures of the Civil War. Nathan Forrest was the leader at Fort Pillow in Tennessee. That basically was a massacre of many black and white soldiers of the Union. And there's conflicting evidence of what really happened that day, but I really believe in the massacre theory that Nathan Forrest said, surrender. We have 5,000 men here on the Confederacy surrounding you with 500 or so, 600 Union men. And surrender, or we're going to come in there and totally annihilate you. Well, the Union commanders wouldn't surrender. So basically, all the soldiers of Fort Pillow, or most of them, ended up getting killed. Even if they were surrendered, they might have got brutally shot, sliced up, lit on fire. You don't really want to know what happens in the midst of evil, horrible war. Especially, this is like the 1864 time period. And I was thinking, Nathan Bedford Forrest, doing reading on him, he was part of the Ku Klux Klan. Some say he's the one who started the Ku Klux Klan. I'm not so sure about that, but he definitely was involved after the Civil War in Tennessee. He was a great leader. A lot of these people who started the Ku Klux Klan, and it spread all throughout the South, wanted some of their old heroes to be the leader, to maybe recruit more men, to make it hard for any black or any northerner who comes down, or anybody who sided with the Union in the South, to ever win office, to intimidate votes. Now, I believe that might have happened, but also, 10, 12 years later, before he died, he tried, I think he went out of his way, Nathan Bedford Forrest, to apologize and say that he was wrong, but when he did sign up with the Confederacy, he fought with all his might. He doesn't regret that, but he regrets, the racist part of it all. Even though he was a slave owner and trader before the Civil War. Very rich man. And that's what I've tried to say in some of my serious sentiments in the past, is that most of the people who were high-ranking Confederates were Freemasons, and they owned slaves. Freemasonry owned slaves on the North and the South before the Civil War and everything. I've always said that, most likely my forefathers didn't have anything to do with slavery. It's the rich people of the time in the South and the North that were conspiring, because it was business. Okay? It was big money. And the bastards on both sides that kind of ran the show were Freemasons. I'm just saying. And Nathan Forrest was a Freemason. So I'm not defending him. I'm saying I think near the end of his life, he did kind of convert and say, hey, we need to get together as races, white, black, blah, blah, blah. He got condemned by former Confederates saying that, Nathan Forrest is now trying to say white people and black people are equal. Because Nathan Forrest gave a big speech near the end of his life where he talked to the black people of the day and said he's sorry, basically, and that we're all equal and blah, blah, blah. So they're they want to remove his gravesite, him and his wife, in Tennessee. There's already people that have gone there and tried to dig it up. There's been resolutions to dig it up. There's been resolutions to get rid of his monuments, and a lot of Confederate monuments in the South. General Lee, Forrest, you name it. I could go Johnston. There's so many Confederates that were evil bastards. Okay, let's just get that out there. War is war, but the Confederates, especially someone like Forrest, were horribly, no quarter mean. And what I'm saying is, okay, you want to go dig up these Confederate graves and remove them, their statues. You want to rename towns that were named after them and get rid of their busts in state capitals and all that. Well, what about Margaret Sanger? Same type of thing. Yeah, she wasn't in a war where she was killing people or ordering the death of people, but she is one of the co-founders of just get rid of all sorts of people through abortion, through what she would call, reproductive rights, like Planned Parenthood. She's basically the forefather, she'd be on the wall of, fame for Planned Parenthood and how it exists today. Well, I'm just saying, she's been responsible for so many more deaths than Nathan Bedford Forrest ever could have ever been responsible for. And the Democrats of this United States will go to bat for her left and right. Nazi sympathizer Margaret Sanger, someone who is a eugenicist who believes in getting rid of the undesirables of life, people who are poor, people who might have diseases, people who maybe don't fit a certain quality or trait that she thinks is a breedable type of person. This woman is revered by the Democrats. They're ready to shut down the federal government right now if the Republicans don't give our taxpayer money to Planned Parenthood. So what I'm trying to say in this video is, all you people trying to remove the Confederate people for being racist and this and that, why don't you get rid of Margaret Sanger? Go get her a gravesite and remove her. Put her in some other country. Send her to somewhere in Germany or something, If we're going to play this game of everybody in history you don't like, let's dig up their grave and get rid of them, then we're going to be busy for a long time because you wouldn't like a lot of people from the past. But see, your little problems now with what they were, just leave it alone. Get rid of the funding for Planned Parenthood. Taxpayers shouldn't be paying for that anyway. It should be a private business, right? So I'm just saying in this video, screw Bedford Forrest and screw Margaret Sanger equally. But the Democrats, oh yeah, they'll be against any Confederacy now because they're the liberal left crazy party who wants to. Just remember, Nathan Bedford Forrest was a Democrat. And most of the people in the South at the time of the Civil War were Democrats. You can't say the Republicans were, the head of the KKK, but see, they love to say Trump, white national racist, KKK lover, won't denounce David Duke. Oh, God. Remember, the Democrats formed the KKK. The Democrats formed the Confederacy. And just like when Lincoln won in 1860, the Democrats of then took their ball and went home and cried like little babies and then tried to secede and did secede from the country. Just like today's Democrat. Trump wins. They gotta go home, take their ball. I'm crying, I'm mad. Let's get rid of this. Let's impeach Trump. See, Democrats have always been bastards, most of them. Not the stupid ones who just think that, they have a good feeling, they're liberal and they're nice. Not those Democrats, the evil, power-ridden ones, the one who want to force you to not have that big gulp. They don't want you to smoke, so they want to make that pack of cigarettes $5 more in taxes to stop you. Democrats, they love force, and when they don't win, they cry like babies. So fuck them all. Thanks for watching.